So we are going to be finding the second derivative of what you are seeing on the board. Let me read the question. If y is equal to exponential minus cx squared, find the second derivative. So to find this second derivative, we are going to be finding the first derivative first, and then we find the second derivative using product rule. Let's do this. So if we have this, finding the first derivative of y, we have dy dx is equal to okay, let me put y d, substitute the y minus cx squared. Okay, this will be equal to you still remember this rule, so we'll multiply it by this. We have minus 2c, 2 minus 1 will give us 1, so we have x. Okay, then after we have done this, that's 2 times minus cx. Okay, cx, and you know how we got to x, 2 minus 1, so we multiply by the power. Okay, and then remove 1 from the power, and then because that's the law of anything exponential, after doing that you are still going to multiply by the exponent, so we'll multiply by what? E minus cx squared, and this is the first derivative. So let's find the second derivative. So finding the second derivative, okay, we are going to be using the product rule. Okay, now using the product rule, do you still remember it's kind of u of x vx plus u of x vx. Okay, we differentiate this here, we differentiate u here, we keep u here by differentiating v. So we differentiate u and then differentiate v. Okay, so that means we will keep v here and we will not keep v here, or rather we'll keep u here and we will not keep u here by differentiating. So now let's use this. So from what we have, this is what we are going to be using. So we'll take our y this time to be minus 2cx, because we want to differentiate it now for the second time. Okay, so now if we take u, if u is this minus tcx, okay, v, this is u and this is v, we have v is equal to e raised to power minus cx squared. Okay, so differentiating u with x, we have u prime, permit me, let me put my x, u prime of x will be equal to, this is raised to power 1. Okay, so we have minus 2c, 1 minus 1 is 0, anything raised to power 0 is 1, so there's no need to put x. Okay, so we have this, differentiating this with x, v of x prime, this is the same thing as v dx is equal to, I hope this thing is not too rough, let me make it clear. Okay, I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. So this will now be, we have this 2 times minus cx will give us minus 2cx. Okay, why? 2 minus 1 is 1. X raised to power 1 will give us x. So we'll still multiply it by the exponent. That's the rule for what? Exponent. So we have e minus cx squared. Okay, now the rule says this prime times v. Look at this. This is u prime. Where's my u prime? Times v of x. It looks as if we are cross multiplying. Can you see? U prime times vx plus ux, this ux times what? V prime. So it looks as if we are multiplying. Okay, so we are multiplying this, adding it to the multiplication of this. So let's do this. So our d square y dx will be equal to, like I said before, we have 2cx, right, plus, multiplication minus 2cx. I do not want to use this sign so that it doesn't look like the x we have already in the question, so I'm using dots to represent multiplication. We have this, then dot exponential minus cx squared, okay, plus this times this. So we have minus 2c dot exponential minus cx squared. Okay, now let's simplify. This times this, minus minus, this will become multiplication, right? So we have minus 2 times minus 2 will give us 4. C times c will give us c squared. X times x will give us x squared, right? Then the exponential comes here, cx squared. Then we have plus. This becomes minus. Plus minus is minus. So we have 2c. This is exponential. So we simply put it cx squared. Okay, 2c exponential minus cs squared. Okay, so now the next thing we'll do is I think we can factor out this. This can be factored out. So it becomes 4c squared x squared. If we bring this out, we have minus 2c, right? So this comes out. Okay, so we have this times this, it comes back to this. This times this, it comes back to this. Okay, so this is the final answer. So our second derivative of y is equal to exponential minus cx squared is equal to 4c squared x squared minus 2c close bracket exponential minus cx squared. I hope you enjoyed today's breakdown on derivative. I'm Steve Bukola Joseph, the physics enthusiast. Bye.